Hello, this is Sirena Nereida with Celestial Soul Wellness, and thank you for watching. Today we're going to discuss the solar eclipse that's happening on the in October 24th, right there, 23rd, sorry, 23rd. Okay, and so we have a partial solar eclipse. Now, a little bit about this solar eclipse and about eclipses. Eclipses happen in cycles, okay? So they have themes. This solar eclipse is representative or is similar to one that happened 19 years ago. So if you could think back, what happened in 2005, 1995, 96, and I say 96 also because the eclipse effects sometimes don't happen right away. We could feel it already about 2 months before, all the way to 6 months after, depending on the length, the longitude of the actual eclipse that is being held, okay? So that's something to remember and recall. And then also, too, we need to wait to see when Mars ignites it, all right? A lot of us have already felt this eclipse, the beginning since July, since Mars was already in Scorpio, beginning of Scorpio in mid to late July. So some of us already felt little ignites going on towards a new direction in our life, okay? Eclipses give us opportunities to start something new. A lot of people go, no, 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 I like how everything is right now, but you don't know what's going to happen new. Everything is going great for you because you finally got a hold of how to manage everything. Imagine the beginning of that situation. It took time to also to adjust and get in there. But we're here to grow. We're here for our soul to grow, and we're not going to be able to grow if we are not partaking into new situations and new circumstances or occurrences. So, by letting go what is no longer necessary, okay, and that's when I tell you what is going on in the individual zodiac forecast to see what is something that we can start new, all right, and no longer necessary, so that way we can start new and bring about and grow. This is a very important eclipse because it is 0 degrees. Anytime we have an astrological point at a fixed sign at 0 degrees, it is lasting. The effects are going to last for a long time, almost permanent, okay? When I say permanent, I mean, what is really permanency here on Earth, okay? But it's going to have effects for a very long time. And especially if it hits one of your luminaries. Remember, luminary is your sun, your moon, your ascendant sign, or any of your personal planets or asteroids, okay? So, and just to, for those of you who are wondering who are going to feel the eclipse the most, since it's happening at 0 degrees Scorpio, anybody within 5 degrees, before or after 0 degrees of a fixed sign or a water sign. So that means anybody within 5 degrees has a luminary, okay, within 5 degrees of Scorpio, of Aquarius, of Taurus, and of Leo, or a water sign. That's again Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, okay? So any of those, and for those of you who are like, oh, 5 degrees, what? I know. Let me put in layman's term in plain English, right? Okay, people who are going to feel it the most. Um, those within 5 days. Okay, remember, it's 5 days on either side, okay? So I'm going to give you January 21st, within 5 days of March 7th, April 21st, 22nd, June 7th, July 24th and 25th, September 9th, October 25th, and December 8th and 9th. So anybody who has 5 days within either side of the caliber there, okay, balancing. So this is a time, since it's happening in Scorpio, many secrets are going to be revealed. At the same time, many secrets are going to be kept quiet, okay, or new secrets are going to come about. Remember, though, secrets are based upon the listeners and the person who is perceiving that truth, okay? Because a truth and what is being perceived, what is being listened to, is being observed and understood by a certain person's upbringing and perspective. So someone could say that this is orange, someone might say that this top is gold, someone might say it's yellow, depending upon the truth of that individual who is seeing it and perceiving it. So, and I say that because a lot of people are out to know what is the truth. I want to know the truth. I don't want you lying to me. You know, you hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, if they, I can't trust a person if they're going to lie to me." A person is not necessarily lying. It's just their truth is different than your truth. Okay, and that's something to really think about because one can see certain things and other people can't. And then if the more experienced you are in life, the more open and unconditional love you're willing to give and receive, you can see beyond, all right, instead of through a narrow scope. And that's very important because some of the negative traits that we're going to see around people who are unbalanced, who don't have their chakras balanced from their sacral chakra in particular, because Scorpio rules the sacral chakra, which is right there where your womb is, okay? About a fist higher than your your groins, okay? And so, and some of the negative traits off the top of my head, you know, even from my nose here, but I know it. I really don't need, is when Scorpio is when they're cunning, very secretive, okay, manipulative, jealous, okay, domineering. Let's see here, intensive, overbearing, all right? Suspicious, moody, those are some of the traits that they're going to see. Some of the positive traits that we can witness and see is research, investigative, taking out the drudge and really seeing what's going on in the psyche. Because what is going on here is all based from emotions that have been circulating all in our body, okay, that we have been carrying since past lifetimes, all right, and this lifetime, even in the womb. All right? A lot of people forgetting that what's a lot of kids that are being born with ADD, ADHD, autism, okay, and birth defects have a lot to do with it because of what they experienced in the womb, with no fault necessarily purposely on the mother. Please don't think that saying, oh, a mother purposely, you know, it's going to create some kind of disaster or some kind of trauma to, you know, no, but they are not aware. If the mother is not grounded and relaxed and, okay, stress-free, that also means their perception. Remember, we are as stress-free as we allow ourselves. If we allow people or items or things to get involved and create stress within our lives, then we are going to create that stress. But we really don't need to. If it's not life-threatening, if a dinosaur or cheetah or lion is not running after us, if we're not getting, you know, with a gun behind our head, then there's no reason to be stress-free. And if we're not going to die from the results, then you gotta let it go. It's okay. It's not going to, you know, there's other opportunities. Rushing, 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 rushing is another form of showing someone is unbalanced, okay? When you're not balanced because you don't know how to take and prioritize, all right? And take things in a calm manner. You're always going, 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 going. You know, oh, it's like this, and you're rushing everybody else. That is bad. That is just showing everybody else, plus your soul, that you are doing too much or you're not prioritizing correctly. Okay? So take it easy. Drop some things. Um, Other things to know, you know, now that we brought it up, I'll mention some of these things now and then I'll go over it again for the meditation later. Okay, I have a wonderful meditation and some prayers that we can blessed play, prayers. So things to know is things that come up with Scorpio when we're in balance, the negativity is in our body, is fibroids, endometriosis, okay, fibromyalgia, heavy, painful menses, okay, having heavy toxins in our body. Other things are going on too, is when you're pushing the body towards exertion on a daily basis, and people are working out, but they're not working out in a wise and optimal method. Okay, not eating enough fruits and vegetables. What is enough fruits and vegetables? You should be eating at least 8 servings of fruits and vegetables daily. at least, but better 10, okay? So, eating processed starchy carbs on a daily basis. What does that mean? Anything from a box, a bag, or a can, okay? If that's processed, anything from a box, can, or a bag, remember that. Um, Being unkept, either you or your surroundings, hence why teenagers have such messy rooms because their hormones are going all over the place, and that Scorpio sign there, it's just they haven't balanced it. It's all something new, so they just have a disaster going. Okay, unless you've had a child who's been who just won't clean their room since they were young. Okay, no pun intended for anybody. But anyway, going on. Lack of creativity, denying your sexual self, all right? Or denying your creative self. That's very important. Some people, that's not good because they are based on guilt, okay? Which is another thing of your Scorpio or your sacral chakra that's imbalanced, is having negative connotations towards being a sexual being, living in the past, okay? Not being able to separate love from sex, not being able to separate sex from love, not being able to separate love from sensuality, not being able to separate sensuality from sex, not being able to separate sensuality with love. Yet all three can be combined, but they all have their separate categories. But when people cannot separate them, that shows their sacral chakra is not balanced and not, truly grounded on that sense, okay? Let's see here. Obsessiveness, lack of discipline and discernment with your sexuality. Uh, let's see. Irresponsible financial decisions and priorities. Okay. Very important. Lower back pain, sciatica. Okay. Another one is urinary kidney bladder infections. More is lower back pain. Okay, is when you're not balanced in your sexual and sacral chakra. There. Let's see here, and there's one more. When you're having prostate, problems, or cancer in your womb, and every ovaries or anything like that, that's going on in that area. Okay, even your lower bowels. That means you're not releasing, letting go of the past. When you're living in the past, you are not finding and allowing yourself joy and bliss in the present. And that's very important because the present is what's important. It's nice to reminisce, it's nice to categorize and think, oh, that's beautiful. Perhaps base some of your present on that, but not to live in there on a constant, because also by doing that, you are making those in your present very aware that you do not appreciate them. Okay? And that's kind of just like when people are on cell phones and they got people, family right there. Never be on a cell phone in front of your kids. You can text, but there are more important. Or you could do research because I know I'm always, researching and sharing information, with my loved ones when I'm with them. But conversations with other people, when you have people physically in front of you, is not appropriate, it's incorrect, and it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy for you and it's unhealthy for the people you're with because you're telling them they are not important. Okay? And if they are not important, then you're not giving them quality time. Okay? Very, very, very. If you see someone who's on the phone or constantly texting, go ahead and say, oh, I'll give you your space and walk away. Don't just wait there. You'll never get those seconds back again in your life while you're waiting for someone else. Create your own life, okay? No need to wait for anybody else. So, continuing on certain facts that we know that we're unbalanced there is living in the past. Okay, holding guilt, regret, repressiveness, fear, distrust, greed, shame, resentment towards anybody in our partnerships, okay, present or past, okay? Indulging mostly in food and spirits to enhance joy and happiness, okay, instead of trying to find it in the in the creativity of our own life. Excuse me. Giving too much of ourselves, yet feeling tired and unappreciated. That's our own fault. Okay? We train people that way, that, hey, we're willing to do those things. At what point did you think that it was going to be okay? I get a lot of clients that tell me, well, I was hoping Well, hope is nice, but if they are not brought up the exact same way with your truth, with your perspective, with your philosophies and social upbringings, how are you going to expect them to appreciate what you're doing unless you train them and guide them accordingly? Okay, remember I talked about having that book, you know, so and so for dummies. How are you showing your love languages? How are you guiding how you need to be loved? Do you know? Get in touch with me, okay? We'll do an astrology chart on you for romance, lust, and sex, and see how that's working for you. Anyway, continuing, more things going on is like a financial flow and accepting of compliments. Very important. How many times have someone gave you a compliment, you're like, oh, you know, I said, oh, this old thing, it's not that, you know, did you even say thank you? Did you show gratitude? If you can't, that shows also some problems regarding that. So now let's go to back to the astrology forecast of what's going on. Okay, so here we go. And we got several things going on with this eclipse. It's a very exciting eclipse. Like I said, it's very permanent. We have many things, many things. Can you guys see that right there? See all that yellow right there? Okay, many planets going on and supporting this eclipse, okay? I know some of you said, just keep it plain, but let me just say real quickly. We have Pallas, the moon, the sun, and Venus, okay? All conjunct right there. And it's saying, let's go, let's go, let's go. And what's important too is, you know, um, it's moving forward. It has new beginnings. So there's opportunities of new love relationships, different kind of love relationships. We're not just talking about partnerships or sexuality or boyfriend, girlfriend or romantic, but all these kind of love relationships. Now, Scorpio is very conditional. It doesn't want to give unconditional because it doesn't like to be unappreciated, okay? So it makes sure that they are appreciated. In fact, they only give a little and then it seems like they're testing. And I don't like to say it's their testing because to me, that sounds very logical. Why are you going to give your whole self? And you say, well, that person hasn't given me a reason to not trust. True, but you don't know that person, and it's not that you need to distrust them at all. We're not talking about a lack of trust. We're talking about trusting yourself in that situation. How vulnerable can you allow yourself to be? The more experienced in life you are, the more avid you are, and the more you know how to flow. You know, I always tell people, if you know how to surf, if you know how to ride a motorcycle, okay, if you know how to rock climb, if you know how to, you know, drive stick, it's very important those that even drive a semi or off-roading, okay, skateboarding. All those activities require constant flexibility and adjustment and dealing with new situations coming towards us, okay? And so we have to know how to move out of the way. We need to know how to go for it or jump over something or at the same time how to just fall, okay, but fall in a safe way and not break our bones, okay? And when we are involved in those kind of activities, we feel more confident in being able to live the daily life. And that's very important because when we integrate ourselves or we decide to be part of a love partnership, either be it, you know, with a sibling, with a romantic partnership, some kind of love of creativity, whatever it could be, we are allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. And you notice the people who are more active and who know how to do those activities that I have been aforementioned, okay, they are going to be more open to be more involved with other people because they trust in themselves how to deal with the situations. When people are just so sedentary and they don't do much, they are very untrusting. And it really what they're saying is, I don't trust myself. I am ignorant. I do not know enough about life to see how these items and what these different actions mean. So I could be creating some very narrow perspectives, okay, and philosophies and belief systems, and yet they impose it upon others. Okay, so when we say someone is, oh, they're free loving and all that, someone else might say, oh, that means they're a whore, that they're a man whore, or they're promiscuous, or they don't give a care about anything else. And that's not necessarily so, because they feel if they are, and this is very important as a Scorpio, and understanding that if they are grounded and they are aware of things, they are seeing the truth through their eyes, and they are seeing perspective and philosophy through their heart, okay, and their balanced chakras, thinking everybody is similar, when that's not necessarily the case. And being here with this solar eclipse is giving us an opportunity to realize. Also, we're going to realize during this eclipse, we're going to hear a lot of people going through surgery, because it's Scorpio rules the 8th house, okay? And the 8th house is transformation, surgery. And yes, maybe some of the people are getting surgery on those items, the physical items I had mentioned earlier. But remember, those pains, any chronic pain, disease, okay, discomfort, really is your body saying you need to make some adjustments in your perspectives and your belief systems. It's not working out. All right? And especially as a child, if they are having pain, that means the children are discomforts. The children have absorbed so much from the parents, okay? Because they are literally a blank white paper, okay, when they are in the womb. And they are absorbing everything in their surroundings. So if you're yelling, I know when I was pregnant, every time I would yell at my students, I would say, hey, my son would literally kick me. And it was like, ah, he still kicks me when we're watching TV. Anyway, but it put me in my place, though. It was like, I probably sure that in 1999 was the year that I was the most calm and less argumentative and less, yelling at my students, because I didn't want to get kicked in return from my son. So if you were my student back then, it was my son who was keeping me quiet. My kindness was my silence. Okay. So anyway, continuing. So also know, though, with this eclipse, there's a lot of passion going on. Now, Mercury is retrograde at this time. So Mercury, you know, is allowing us an opportunity to clear the cobwebs, or finish, clear up those frayed ends of relationships from the past, okay? And it goes forward right after the eclipse. So at the same time, since the eclipse, we feel it already, all the way. We're going to see transformations already to 6 months after. We're getting opportunities to deal with new ones, okay? So that's really good, because we never want to take new baggage. We got to let it go. Remember, it's a past. We chose the situation. We somehow allowed it. Either we wanted it, a good fight in our system, right? Or we wanted to prove that we are strong, okay? We wanted retribution, somehow we allowed ourselves to be put in a situation. Maybe we thought it was the greatest opportunity, because we saw it worked out for other people. We thought, oh, yes, this is for me too, when it's not necessarily so. So those things need to be remembered, and release those resentment, guilts, and repressive ideas, and shame, because it just goes into our organs, okay? Remember, the anger, resentment, the way we are our figure tells us where our negative perceptions are being carried. What are our issues that we haven't released and dealt with, okay? Very important. So this eclipse is really allowing us opportunity for love, love, love to come into our life. What kind of love do you need? Okay? Some of us know what kind of love we don't want, but do you know the kind of love you need? Do you know the kind of love you want? Write down on a piece of paper, and write a list, and say, this is what I would like. Watch some movies, or documentary, and say, God, I like this attribute about the sex that I would like. Or, I'm talking about sexual gender. Okay, maybe you want to talk about the sex you like too. That's fine, you know. And write down, and even put in your fears about certain things. Though I fear this, and look at it and say, well, if this is a problem, how could I fix it so it's not a problem? How could I manage myself? And so, I mean, like sometimes when for example, when we're cooking, you throw too much salt into a stew. We say put in the potatoes and let it soak, because the potatoes soak it up, or any kind of food, because the potatoes will soak up that salt and then you could take out the potatoes, and leave the rest of the meal so that way it's not so salty. There is a solution. For every fear, there is a solution outside of, I'm not leaving my bedroom and I'm just going to stay here. Hello? Okay. So, it paused a little, sorry about that. But you understand what I'm getting at, okay? So again, too, is remember, Saturn is still in Scorpio, so it's still asking us to make certain adjustments until the end of the year. Then it goes into Sagittarius, and then it goes back again for a few months into Scorpio to just make sure that those adjustments we have made in the past 2 years, especially with the eclipse happening in Taurus and Scorpio, you know, are settled, are the ones that we want, or do we need to do another upgrade? Okay, because remember, Scorpio is the sign of transformation. We are being demanded by the universe, by our divine creator, to ascend. Those of you who are trying to stick their heels in the ground and stay in the third dimension are going to have complications, okay? You're gonna have obstacles. And it's unfortunate because eclipses tell us, woohoo, let's go. There's an opportunity. And many people don't want to. We are now in the fifth dimension. You're going to see kids, children are already there. Those people are older generation. It might be harder for you to flow, but your grandchildren are going to help you flow through there. You're going to see the people with whom you interact, okay? Being negative, yelling all the time in a negative way, saying negative comments, criticizing others, okay? Instead of focusing on the positive, is not acceptable anymore in this dimension, all right? It is always pulling yourself down and dancing. Eating food with gluten, eating too much sodium nitrate, eating foods with too much GMO. You're going to have to balance it out because I know that's difficult. Myself, I mean, goodness, I love In-N-Out. So since I know I love In-N-Out, I'm not going to eat a lot of meat with GMO because or dairy products. Well, I don't eat dairy products, period. But so that way I can have that one time and then I do a cleansing because we were brought up, unfortunately, with certain foods, and but we have to decide and pick our poison, right? Okay. Remember, alcohol has gluten in there too. Okay, gluten is an addictive property. Okay, that's why you see those kids with the Cheetos. Don't be allowing your kids to eat Cheetos. That's wrong. Anything macaroni and cheese, anything that's been in a box, in a bag, in a can. Okay, not good. Even pre-made things that are frozen. You know, there's ways to do it, and we can talk later. So this solar eclipse, like I said, is continuing for us to ascend, okay? A reminder to keep the harmony, though, during this transformation, because when we ascend, we're not being better, okay? It's not a time of, I'm better than you. The collective consciousness means we are all a puzzle piece, okay? And putting those puzzle pieces together, we are this one dramatic, huge puzzle, which is the image of our divine creator, the universe, okay? We were made in God's image, and that means all of us together. Aside when us as individuals, we are only like a little piece of grain, a little tiny nail, okay, on a person, and then we put it all together. So those people who are taking literally that they are the only image of God is very ignorant, very narrow-minded, and need to be very and pushed aside, okay? So that is not good. Also, too, remembering that the divine creator is unisex. So thinking that one gender is better than another. And this is very important because Scorpio likes to dominate. It's domineering. Here we're trying to balance out and what is the beauty of the masculine essence and the beauty of the feminine essence. Some people want to say, oh, woman power, Um, yeah, no. Um, I can understand, the whole feminine movement of having respect, and on a superficial basis, true, it is necessary. We deserve equal respect and consideration and rights, but we are not equally the same. We can be, but even then, we need some scientific help, right? Okay. Um, but in reality, we decide to take up more of the feminine essence or the masculine essence. In this new dimension, we are emphasizing the feminine essence. What the feminine essence is not wearing a lot of makeup or being delicate in your movements and wearing nail polish and tons of jewelry, okay, and going, oh my gosh, and being indecisive. No, that is perhaps beta traits, okay, but not feminine essence. To mix those two together is incorrect and inappropriate and an insult, really. But anyway, none of that. So a feminine essence is being that unconditional love, giving. There are traits of feminine essence in Mother Teresa, uh, traits of feminine essence in Princess Diana, also in the Virgin Queen, Queen Elizabeth I, because taking in the whole country as her own, as her children, and being protective and guiding them to something better, bigger, okay? Being nurturing, caring, loving, and seeing the best in everybody, all right? And trying to bring out those positive qualities for everyone. Just a little note. Otis is staying very quiet, so he has to be right next to me. Okay, so moving right along, going along that and realizing and talking about essence, the masculine essence, Mars, and right now is in Capricorn, but it's moving on and it will conjunct Pluto come November 10th through the 11th. And when that happens, okay, um, we have those psychological issues, because Pluto's dealing with those psychological issues, very important because it rules, it's one of the ruling co-rulers of Scorpio, of those issues and how we deal with authority, how we deal on moving up on top, how we're dealing with our career aspects, okay, and our father figures or the authority figures in our life is going to come to a head, all right, and with that eclipse, it's going to show our new relationship with those that male essence in our life, okay, in our lifestyle. Also, how are we going along with that male essence? Are you being very typical of male essence is when they're uni-focused. They're not going to multitask, okay? And that is something actually positive because multitasking means incomplete tasking and means not being in the present. It means not being completely aware with the flow and the vibration. And when we multitask too much, we dance ourselves down, okay? So remember that, you want to single task. You guys would not like it right now if I was texting and looking on and doing stuff on the phone while having this lecture, right? Okay, so moving along, we still have Uranus, okay, that is opposite the North Node and Mercury, which is conjunct the North Node, which means this whole solar eclipse is affecting all of us to move forward and deal with relationships. So we got to drudge out that negativity, all that luggage, all that stuff, because Pluto's in Capricorn and wants us to let it go. And also how we're dealing with the great establishment, government, institutions, anything with corporations, okay? Um, those are slowly going to get broken down because the new royalties nowadays, back then we had I guess, we had dukes and counts and, the king and all those other things. Nowadays we have the government and corporations, okay, that are the ones backing up the government. So that is the new idea of royalty. Okay, so when we say give it to the man, when they meant give it to the man, give it to the king back then, we're now saying give it to the government, give it to the corporations who are ruling them and thinking of only for their best interest. One of those, and I'm very adamant in being honest about it, is Monsanto. Okay, anything connected to Monsanto is negative, yet they do back up the government, and the government allows it. Obama takes from them, so does his wife. And, it's very nice to, one day they say, tell their kids, you know what, we allowed a big corporation to harm many, many people, you know. But you have a wonderful life, and look at all the luxury you have now. It's all about us and all about them. But that's what they're saying, and that's what they're doing. Remember, actions speak louder than words, and that is the truth. Because essentially, the truth of the matter is not necessarily only the perspective, but what are the consequences of our actions. And that's something to go back going towards to, you know, Mars with Pluto there. So it's the collective consciousness. Mercury being conjunct the North Node is about harmony and balance. I'm not better than you. You are not better than me. But I tell you what, let's find out your positive traits. Let's find out my positive traits. Or what traits maybe you think they're positive, maybe I don't, but you do, you know, or they're okay. And let's see how we can make it work and make that puzzle piece fit instead of jamming it in and then wondering why it's not working, okay? And it's okay if we don't function and jam with and slide into a piece with everybody. We're not meant to be, and it's quite all right, you know. And we're still good, and to remember that about ourselves. We have with the solar eclipse and its groupies, I'm going to call it, with Pallas and Venus right there. We have Neptune, which is retrograde, trying that whole nice groupie, and so it's giving it we might not see things clearly at first. There's a lot of though love being offered, and it's poetic, and it can be, how can I say, is there's a need. Okay, Pisces is a water sign, Neptune is underground, and there's a need to allow that love to come to the surface because it's bubbling inside. And if we can just see that in someone and take that love and use it to something positive and still appreciate it, and they see that way they don't feel dejected or rejected, because sometimes a way a person shows love is not necessarily the way we receive it or how we would like to be loved. And but then again, if we realize and we reject them, they're not so much going to want to show love anymore. Okay, and that's very important. I know my family, for an example, especially on the Latin side, they're always trying to make sure you're well fed. You could come into the door and say, "Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Oh, has comido? Have you eaten? Look, we have this. Let's feed." And you're like, "Oh no, I just ate." And they will continue to offer you food, and it's just, you know. The German side, we're not so much like that. So it's just kind of like, at first you're going, did they not hear me? Are they trying to fan me up? Because we're seeing it from a different truth, a different perspective. But the more time I spent with them, the more time I realized is that was them saying, hey, Sirena, Nereida, Neris, I love you. Here, I thought of you. Here, eat with us, spend time with us. And it was like, oh, once I understood that, that had nothing to do with me in particular, okay, if I'm, you know, thin or thick or that, or if they were listening to me or not, that was the way they showed love. They're not necessarily the type to say, oh, I love you, you know, and huggy kissy, but the way you say, hey, come here, sit down with me. Let's have some, you know, food together. Let's have some, you know, salad of nopales, you know. Um, that's their way of saying, I want to spend some quality time. And that's very important to recognize in different relationships. How are those people spending quality time with you? How are they saying, I love you? If you're not sure too, you know, the easiest way is just find out on their chart and find out on your chart, how do you show love? And how do you prefer to receive love, okay? You know, come contact me. Well, to take a look-see there, okay? So, going on some more is that Pluto is sextile Chiron during this time, and it has been. So, we're still getting time to, you know, really bring that up and make the transformation as easy as possible. So that's nice with Neptune and also Chiron in in Pisces, it's giving us that time to heal. But a time to heal where it flows naturally, not where it's just like, boom, now deal with it. It's allowing it's kind of like a really bad infection, allowing all that pus to come out and bring it out and just cleansing it and just pushing it all slowly out, getting all that stuff. And you know, sometimes we think we're good, and then we realize, oh, like if we take something out and then 2 days later, there's still some more. And we go, I thought I got it all out. And you take it more all out and get it. And then you disinfect it, you know, and cleanse it, because, you know, Neptune and Chiron being in Pisces, it's the ocean, it's the underground where the salt heals, okay, and allows time for healing. Then we let it heal and it slowly, and it allows for flexibility so that way it can be used again, removing all the gunk that created it in the first place, okay? Something very important to remember and the positive about it, you know. We still have Jupiter in Leo, and it slowly, I mean, it is conjunct Lilith there. So there's a time people are being a little bit more demanding, being a little bit more confident, which is good, okay? And knowing that confidence, they're finding their self-awareness and their self-worth. So that's how come too, with this eclipse, with that self-worth, that awareness, they are being more open towards love and unconditional love and transforming themselves through love, okay? And that's so beautiful and wonderful in itself. Let's see here. Uranus is still playing in Aries, having things happen unexpectedly, and because it is opposite Mercury still and the North Node, please be aware of working with anything metals and people moving too quickly, okay? So, you know, this is a time to nip any trauma, throw it out, it's unnecessary, and start towards healing. I want to make sure that I've come across and mentioned certain things. We are going to have let me move this way. Venus is moving into Scorpio on the 23rd. Okay, so then we have Mercury direct on the 25th and 16 degrees Libra. So anything, if you have a luminary at 16 degrees Libra, anything now within 5 degrees, you're going to feel it the most. Okay, and anything in air sign or it's right there on the top of my lip. Aries, Cancer, um, Capricorn, and Libra, okay? The, so, and then Mars moves into Capricorn on the 26th of October, also all the way till the 4th of um, December. So those are things to be aware of, you know. So the individual forecast of what's going on, let me make sure that we've talked everything I mentioned. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, very good. Okay. Yes, good. We got it. um, oh, the Sabian symbol. Before anything, let's do the Sabian symbol, okay? And let me write that down. Sabian symbol. Okay, so the Sabian symbol we have here is a crowded sightseeing bus on a city street. All right, and that means that it's all about what's going on outside and the transformation there. And so we are society is being very aware of what is going on in different areas and wanting to see that and be a part of it, yet they are relying on a guide in particular, because when you're on a sightseeing bus, you are relying, hopefully, on on a local there, okay, not a local, but on a local person there that is going to give you information, or a really knowledgeable person is going to give you information regarding that, how to adjust to that lifestyle, because we have to remember different weathers dictate, it used to dictate different foods that were going to be offered and different clothing, which meant different perspectives and different truths, okay, for that area. Now, because we even the way the TV and internet has connected the world, our truths are so now becoming similar and not necessarily so far apart anymore, okay? And that's very important because we're integrating other people's traditions. I mean, just last week we went to go have some, you know, Indian food. It was delicious. I'm talking from India, okay? And yet we went to have Chinese also, you know, later on in the week. So it's like, wow, okay? All those things we get to partake and see and enjoy the beauty and wonders of each of those cultures, and that's very important, okay? So now let's move on to the individual forecast, okay? And so the individual forecast is Aries. You're going to be feeling this, everything we talked about, transformation, all that in your eighth house, other people's finances. A time to really understand how you're going to transform yourself, how you see yourself. There might be an opportunity to have some surgery done. If you do, please do it after Mercury retrograde. In fact, and not until the second week of there was a cat there. I didn't want the dog barking. The second week of November, okay? So hold off till then. You don't, it's never good to do uh, surgery within 5 days of a full moon, new moon, let alone eclipse, because remember, the gravitational pull brings the fluids closer to the body surface and allows for more bleeding, okay, which means you have to be drinking more water. Please, everybody, drink a lot of water during the solar eclipse. All right. Same thing too as when you're working out and doing. Don't overexert yourself, Aries. You need to be drinking that water. Replenish yourself. Okay. Please watch later on. I talk about the quartz and essential oils and the foods to be taken at this time, which would be necessary for that balance. All right. Also, too, the way you see and deal with ideas of your sexuality or lack of sexuality, okay, is on a change, okay, is on a transformative basis. And the way you decide to receive financial benefits from others, you know, perhaps you're starting a new loan, a new partnership of somehow, or your partner is receiving some kind of new financial aspects that's going to allow you to grow, all right? Perhaps you are going to receive more sexual or a new sexual partner too. Some kind of partner that's going to allow you to transform yourself and see yourself in a different light. And that is something positive, okay, Aries? So, Taurus, let's move right along. Taurus, you got it's happening in your seventh house of partnerships, all right? And in partnerships, you know, we're talking about not just committed partnerships like a marriage, anything where there's a contract could be written, spoken, understood, handshake, okay? But somewhere, some kind of partnership. It could be even a business one. And it's bringing a highlight here. So you're learning how to co-work with someone else and understanding what are their needs and also emphasizing and sharing your own needs and how both of you guys can bring that to the table and have both of those needs, you know, recognized and regarded and respected, okay? And how your different talents from both of you guys are going to bring and enhance that and bring a more positive effect into your lives, all right? If you're having negativity going on, then that means you're dealing with your own personal agenda as opposed to an agenda that is supposed to be enhancing both of you. Okay? Gemini, and this is also dealing in your sixth house, okay? And your sixth house, Gemini, is your health, all right? Your daily workspace, your the way your routine, your workout, okay? How you are being outside and being collective. You need to have running water, believe it or not, in your workspace, in your daily life. If you don't have you need an aquarium, um, a fountain, or on your phone having some kind of soundscape of water flowing, all right? And to offer you that balance, it helps you feel connected with nature and understanding because you are an electrical sign. You are, okay, ruled by Mercury, and electricity, okay, rushes through. Water is a conductor for electricity, and so it helps you flow and think better when you need to be drinking a lot of water. If you're not drinking a lot of water, you're eating all that, you know, processed food, okay, you're creating blockage. And when you have blockage, what happens? You have those nerves, okay? Remember, Geminis, fortunately, you guys are known to be the sign with the highest number of bipolarism, neuroticism, panic attacks, okay, um, epilepsy. So please, please, please create a place for grounding, you know, where some hematite turquoise is very good. I got my turquoise on. okay, is very good for that grounding also. Obsidian, agate, all those things that are going to ground. If you like red, you have carnelian and garnets, okay, also good for that. So grounding, 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 very important. Okay, Cancer here. Cancer, this is happening in your fifth house. In your fifth house, Cancer, you are seeing prospects of romance, okay, opportunities, and how you're going to transform yourself through different romance and fun, okay. A good meditation will be, say, Divine Creator, God of all that is, it is commanded that I have more fun in my life. Make sure you put out a certain stipulations, right? That are safe, sane, and that enhances my personal joy and bliss. And also think of more interaction with your children or other people's children, or children just in general, okay, where you get to show your creativity, maybe some dancing, all right? Um, join a dance class, get to go see more music, um, what is it, concerts, okay, plays, anything that's very entertaining and gives you a chance to be happy and blissful. So that interaction is very, very prominent and very wonderful in your life, and you get to live off of that. And really, and it's going to be something more or less permanent because you're making a dedication and a statement with it that you're going to realize how that bliss and joy is really working into your life. Okay, Leo, we are talking about your fifth house, home. Okay, what is home to you? Who is home to you? Sometimes we don't need an edifice or a location, but we need, some people feel when they are with someone else, it is home. I know when I have a good cup of tea with me, I feel home anywhere, okay? So it could be as simple as that. Sometimes someone needs their dog, all right, or their cat, we got both around here. It could be as simple as that. What is home to you? What is your hearth, your inner hearth inside of you? Also, your connection with the female authority figure in your life, or the female authority figure of life. Maybe it has changed, okay? Or you to someone else, or the way you connect with someone is that female authority, okay? Is transforming and making a change. It's being very permanent under the circumstances. Perhaps you're enlarging your house or you're getting more people into your home. Okay. Um, so I'm just trying to think. I moved in with my cousin, and his moon is in Leo. And woohoo, what happened within a few months of this eclipse? It was that's a good example. It was enlarged. Okay, he got more in there. And me being a female, no, I'm not the female authority, but there was a female involved in that. So that's a good example of how things can change. All right, within your own hearth of how you deal with yourself, how you're dealing with your home life too. By the way, I do cook for him sometimes, okay? Don't think, you know. Anyway, Virgo, okay, Virgo, we got here the third house, and I'm writing down the time so I can put it there for the descriptions, make it easier for you. Virgo, your third house, this is your communication, how you're dealing with the neighborhood around you, your community, your siblings, your cousins, okay? How is your interaction and how verbal are you? Your learning skills, okay? Are you teaching? Are you learning new classes and taking about and really seeing what's around you, okay? And sharing it with those around you and bring better understanding since there's such a detailed clarity. For example, I went out to eat the other day with two. There was four of us, and two of them were happened to have Virgo aspects in them, and it was just really interesting because they were talking about correct pronunciation and this and that, and that is for them something that is a mental foreplay, you know. And I say that, Virgo, because you, by doing that, for you, that clarity is something that's important to offer, to show, and it's beauty, really, in essence, for you, of that vibration, okay, of having organization. Some people might say you're very critical. Well, it's upon how you do it. Remember, with every criticism, there needs to have been at least 3 positive comments before that or within it, okay? Because if not, that negative comment is going to be the lasting one, and that's not right, because to do that, remember, with every great power comes great responsibility. So share that, open that, and teach that. Okay, Libra, we have here going on in your second house of personal finances. So, and your morals, you're seeing how is it that you are relating to the world. Perhaps you had a moral system or belief system that was working for many, many years, and it was just very encouraging, and just you were able to rely on it. But now, with this new dimension, with this new world that's going on, it's just not working, and so you need to transform that, okay? And by doing that too, you're allowing more abundance into your life. Because if you're constantly criticizing, putting no and saying no, it has to be this way, you know, and it's very you might think, well, what is she talking about? I'm a Libra, I'm supposed to be the more harmonious, also indecisive. Because when you are not sure, you become indecisive, and it creates disharmony. Your indecision creates disharmony within your relationships. Here, you're trying so hard not to make a bad decision out of fear of not having love. But if you are one with yourself and truly in love with yourself, it doesn't matter. People are going to accept and love you for who you are either way. And this is very important, because the more you love yourself, the more abundance that's going to flow into your life, okay? And the more love that's going to go bring into your life. And it's just you allow that abundance and prosperity to fill you through. And that is something you need to perhaps do a chakra. I'm going to do the chakra meditation later, okay? So Scorpio, we got this is in your first house. You got an opportunity to completely transform yourself. Maybe you're going to lose some weight. Maybe you're going to gain some weight. Maybe you're going to do your hairstyle. Maybe you are going to present yourself differently, a whole new wardrobe, or you are going to do something that is going to finally truly represent you. You are going to take on something new that is going to enhance and take you towards your soul purpose. It's very important, especially if you have other luminaries, you know, luminaries, I mean, that are present in conjunct, okay, this solar eclipse. So you get a chance to let go of all that yucky baggage, of just really just say, hey, I don't need it. What is really indicative of me? What is my priority? And just let that just glow and come out, okay? And so that's going to be something positive. Sagittarius, oh, by the way, Scorpio, if you need to look at that, call me up. We'll look at your chart, okay? Sagittarius here, um, we are looking at, okay, your 12th house. So you're really taking the opportunity to look inside of yourself. Take some time out, you know, and just be one with yourself. And that is something you love to do anyway, okay? This is probably when you would want to just say, I'm going to take a road trip with me, myself, and I, and some good music, you know, and just get away and see the truth as I need to see it, okay? And that, not as I, but I mean you, okay? And that's very important, to take that time to really soul search of what's going on with you, okay? And because Saturn is slowly inching its way into your sign, so you are getting an opportunity to see. Now, you are very flexible in life change, so you realize change is necessary and things cannot stand as they are. And so with this, we have Mars right now in your sign, okay? And with this solar eclipse, you're getting opportunity to push forward and really have this. And Saturn's actually going to just guide you when it hits into Sagittarius. It's going to guide you more and just kind of guide you so you're not going off the road, off the, into grass. And if you are, it's going to tell you, hey, watch it. There's going to be bumps or potholes and things like that. It's not necessarily to say, don't go there, but it's saying, be aware of your surroundings and what is going on. and the consequences. And when I say consequences, we mean that it means the outcome. Okay, not necessarily something negative. People connect the word consequences with something negative, and that is not necessarily so. I even looked it up in the dictionary. Okay, so Capricorn, this is an opportunity. All right. Okay, to reestablish and recreate yourself with your goals. Okay, what are your higher aspirations? What do you want to do with yourself? And because of that, your friendships are going to change. Okay, who are important? How are you going to connect? How can they help you? All right, make it towards that connection. Now, be careful because Capricorn sometimes has a habit of walking on top of other people's feet and hands while they're going up the ladder, and then they wonder why they're there by themselves. So if you have Libra in you, that's great, because you remember the importance of harmony and other relationships. But in this aspect of changing yourself and transforming yourself and your goals and who you are, you're getting an opportunity to transform the way you interconnect with others, okay? Not just with yourself, but what is the positive, how you want to do that. Um, you're getting a lot of positive feedback with Pluto. I say positive because it might hurt, okay? Pluto can hurt, all right? It's like doing emotional and psychological surgery, psychosurgery. It can hurt because we got to let it go. We got to deal with it. And if we don't, you know, then it's, how can I say, then we really can't move on. Um, most healers, most astrologers, most, people who go into this field is because they had been going through something traumatic, trauma, that was very, very painful and needed to find some insight and some kind of, light at the end of the tunnel. And the nice thing is to know is when one of us talks and shares with the collective consciousness with everybody, it's because we are very aware of the experience, of the pain that's possible. But we're here to say, it's not that bad. We came out okay. And so can you, and so will you, and so you are. Okay? And so contact one of us to help you, guide you. We are here unconditionally, lovingly, giving to you. Aquarius, this is a good time for you. You are getting opportunity to see new things in your career, changes. All right? How do you want things to change? Perhaps to the way you connect with an authority figure or the masculine essence within yourself, okay, or a supervisor or a boss, or a father figure, or you are becoming a father yourself. So this is an opportunity to really display yourself and see yourself and take command and take charge, okay, and stop being the one who's always being led. You get to go now, which is really good because you've been a drummer, sorry, a follower of your own beat anyway. You have your own drum beat and you really like that. And now you get to encourage others to hear that drum beat and be part of it and see the beauty of it and really enjoy that joy and bliss, okay? So, and this also too gives you the opportunity of how people are going to see you as an authority figure. Not just you being the authority figure in your own life and that own masculine essence, but also how people are going to relate to you and how you're relating to them in that position. It's very important, okay? Pisces here. Pisces, this has happened in your third house, okay? And I'm sorry, no. Scratch that, cancel the history. Oops. Okay, Pisces, this is happening in your ninth house, okay? And in your ninth house, this is when you're looking towards the um, I want to say más allá because that's what we say in Spanish. Supernatural, more higher philosophies, higher education. So you're getting an opportunity to really open up and connect to a higher world, okay? To connect with the universe, your crown chakra, third eye and crown chakra just beaming open and it's like, this is coming in and you're just realizing, forming, and you're just going, wow, this is so interesting. You weren't aware of all that and it's giving you that opportunity to redirect and re-philosophize and change your perspective of how you connect with the collective consciousness and everybody else on this dimension and in this earthen plane. Okay, so perhaps you're taking a class, perhaps you're doing meditation, or you have a mentor, you're interacting with someone that is helping you open up those horizons and see the wonders, okay, and beauty and adventures and joy and bliss of the more world than this tiny little piece of corner of your house, okay, or of your world. And so by opening, doing that, you're also getting opportunities to heal yourself and others. Because when you heal yourself, it dribbles over, and it should floodgate over, really. And you get to help and heal others too with that joy and bliss that's going about. So that's the forecast, okay, for today, and I mean today for the next 2 weeks. Actually, we're going to see it happening, but we're going to feel it and see major transformations within the next 6 months. Okay, so now moving right along, for those of you who have been with me, we know that I go now into the yoga, chakra, and health section of this episode. Okay. And let me just write the time so I can put in the description for those of you who don't have to watch the whole flipping hour, right? Okay, waffles, like my son would be saying. Okay, so now we're talking about the sacral chakra, all right? The sacral chakra is the second chakra right above the root and base chakra. Okay, Svadhisthana is known, and certain crystals that help us stay balanced for the sacral chakra, anything gold or orangey, okay, would be best. Okay, I know I didn't know if I should go red for Scorpio or orange for the Sakura chakra. So and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do more of the chakra here. So anything golden topaz, amber, citron, okay, um, uh, calcite orange, calcite, carnelian, okay, rhodochrosite, hematite, red aventine, orange cincite, yellow topaz, green diopside, merlinite, golden rutilated quartz, sunstones, crackled fire, agate, zircon crystals, even fool's gold, okay? I know. Creedite, let's see here, peach aventurine, Atakanite crystal, Shiva Lingam, Serendite, onyx, tiger's eyes, okay? So, all that, wear it good, okay? If you have a mixed one, that's always nice also, okay? We got some tiger's eye right there, besides, okay? So, all those different ones right there. Okay, the organs that are affected in our health, and very important for you to be realize that are going to be your reproductive organs, okay, including the ovaries, testicles, fallopian tubes, the womb, the cervix, okay, the stomach, the colon, prostate, any of the reproductive organs, including since, because when those are affected and not working well, guess what? I'm going to stand up, and so you're not going to see my face, but follow my hands, okay, for those of you, you know so here we have the sacral, okay? It's right here. So that means if you go all the way to the back here, see, we got the lower back area. So when this is all not working fine, it's putting pressure against our intestines, okay? Because we have the large intestines that go this way, and all this is filled with our small intestine. So it's putting pressure on our back, okay? And with the nerves. So a lot of times when we have reproductive problems going on, it pushes against the smaller intestines, putting pressure against our lower back vertebrae, which puts pressure on our nerve system, which gives us also sciatica problems, okay? So a lot of people who think that oh no, my sciatica is different, this and that, and then they go to massage therapists that come to me and I start massaging the lower back, they're like, well, what are you doing? No, the pain's here. It has, because it travels, okay? It's all connected. And even that is all connected all the way to most people who have headaches and migraines. It's because they're constipated. They ate badly, and they're full of crap, literally. Okay, so it's gonna, but it's true. They're not eating correctly. Okay, some essential oils and flowers and herbs and incense to put around at this time to really help open up your sacral chakra and balance it would be musk, sandalwood, jasmine, neroli, orange blossom. Okay, really nice. Okay, even patchouli is there. Okay, and we got some great yoga positions that before the meditation, I really, really advise that you do these yoga positions and then pause it, before you go to the meditation. Because when we open everything up, then with the meditation, we can really end this session and this series wonderfully. I have some great blessings and prayers to go with this meditation for the universe and the divine creator, you know. So we're gonna kind of, give yourself some space right now, okay? And so if you want to do it off flowing, best to get your incense and your candles and the herbs together and the stones and create your little space, okay? It's nice to have that nice sacred area where you're going to do your thing. Okay? And so then now, either make sure you're on a yoga mat. Remember, I'm not a doctor, okay? Medical doctor at any sort, but I do offer the best information I can. So anything my lawyers ask me to say, this is for entertainment purposes only. Okay? Anyway, I gotta protect myself, right? So here we go. So we'll start off with sun salutation because it is the solar eclipse, and I'm really hoping that you guys are doing this slowly, taking deep breaths because in eclipse you need more water. Oh, wait. First, I want to mention foods. So stop. Okay, let's do the foods real quickly. And the foods is right, that's that way there's no confusion. A lot of good foods to be eating at this time is melons, okay, passion fruit, mangoes. Yes, mangoes, not mangoes. Oh goodness, there's no E there. Okay, strawberries, passion fruit. Yes, that was my Venus and Virgo. Okay, red cactus, oranges, persimmons, pomegranates, papaya, honeydew, honey itself, nuts, cinnamon, coconuts, yams, and fish, all very good. And the herbs, very good for this time, is coriander, also known as cilantro. That word's becoming more and more popular in our mainstream vocabulary. Fennel, gardenia, vanilla, paprika, and calendula. Okay, so also too, when we do the incantation meditation, we will have those herbs available. Please also, if you can add some lavender. Um, what are the other ones I have there? For the actual incantation. Those herbs are for our sacral chakra, but this one's to help with the our meditation. If you want to have a availability or ready, is going to be basil, ginger, jasmine, lavender, rose petals, and violets because it's all about love. Okay, with the sacral chakra, receiving love, giving love, and being in Scorpio, what can I say? So, okay, so let's get to some yoga. I know one day I would like to show pictures of me on the side here, on the actual side, so that way you guys could see it while I'm guiding you guys. So at this time we're going to do warrior pose, okay? So remember, warrior starts off, okay? And make sure you are straight, you're not down, you're not going like this. You're straight there, straight, Okay, and then you're pointing, all right, and then you're going all the way up and you're stretching and make sure you are breathing. Keep the chin straight, okay? Make sure you're breathing straight ahead and looking straight ahead, all right? And you're taking nice deep breaths for that whole time. Breathe in through your nose. Make sure the air travels all the way to the back, okay? In through your stomach and out. Hold that position for 5 of those breaths, okay? Now we're going to do cow face. Cow face. Cow face, we're going to sit and we're going to go, ah. Okay, we need to. And then we're going to open, okay? And your arms are going to really stretch behind you, okay? Very good on both sides. Remember, oh, on Warrior Two, you're not just doing one side, you're doing both sides, okay? So it's going to be here. Remember to do here. Remember the way you're standing is straight and the way you're lunging, okay? So, same thing with cow face. You got to do both sides. If you can, it'd be great to grab as much as possible, okay? And really stretch. And you know, if you're doing it like this, see how my elbow is out? If you could pull it in and stretch even more. And then curve it backwards a little by keeping it all straight. And the same thing right now, okay? And pulling it all straight, okay? And keep the neck up. There you go. Now tailor pose also known as butterfly pose. You know, you're sitting where you have your feet together, okay? And just, you know, and you're breathing into all these poses, okay? If you're just doing it, you want to do it for at least 5 breaths, okay? Um, a side stretch, okay? It's very important where you're going to the side and really opening that area all up. Bridge pose. Bridge pose too, you're like, okay? Now, there's the the bridge pose, you know, there's also the back bend one where they go like this and it's just very opening up those hips. There's also the one where you're going like this way, and then you're pushing the hips forward to open up that area, okay? That's why a lot of gymnasts, you know, their hymn has been broken way before losing their virginity because they have that very wide and open. Okay, happy baby pose, you know. So when you're on your back and you're holding your feet, you know, and just stretching that out. Pigeon pose, okay? So, and the lunge pose and extended triangle. Remember to please end it with moon salutation, okay? So remember moon salutation, you know, and up and then and go, okay? And so, and touch and touch. All right. So those of you who are teaching a yoga class or get a group together, you know, I really hope that you appreciate um, these different poses I guide you on, okay? So you start off with the sun salutation, and then, yeah, I give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different poses, and then a moon salutation. Holding, doing it for 5 full breaths. When I say 5 full breaths, you're breathing in for 5. Filling in the abdominal region or your tummy region, and you're holding it for 5. And then tell your students to release for 5, okay? Wonderful. And now I would like to start with the meditation. So everybody get comfortable, get some socks on. You could sit up or lie down. Since we're slowing down our body, we might want to put a little shawl or light airport blanket or sheet around you or a sweatshirt. Make sure you have some where it's relaxed and calm. And let's just hope that Otis stays quiet. Okay, but it's good for us to learn to be able to stay grounded no matter what the situation is. Breathe in deeply into your abdominal region. Just close your eyes. Feel that wonderful breath travel all the way up to your crown chakra, out to the paths of your crown chakra, back down into your head, all the way down your spine, back to your abdominal region, and out of your mouth. Let's do that again. And you might even yawn, and that's quite all right, okay? Let's get all those toxins out. This time, just focus on your breath, the beauty of your breath, and just releasing it all out. And if you can have your water flowing in the background, some sacral chakra music. You want to pause this right now and set up your background if you haven't. Your incense or candles, put your crystals around you, even on you, okay, especially around your sacral area. Okay? Just make sure you always have flowing water. If you want to do this in a bathtub, that is fine. Just make sure it's not so high where you're going to drown yourself and there's no electrical things too close, okay? That would really not be nice, okay? And you're just breathing in and just breathing in. And now we're taking and saying, I am love. And breathe that in and release through your mouth. And again, I am love. Breathe that in. Let that air travel. And out. And again, I am love. Breathe that in. Let it travel and out. And again, I am love. And one more time, I am love. By whatever name you call your God or divine creator, divine intelligence, source, the universe. Say, our divine creator loves me. And breathe that in. And just breathe that out. Our divine creator loves me. Breathe that in. Breathe that out. Our divine creator loves me. Breathe that in and breathe that out. Say, because our divine creator loves me, I deserve to be loved. Breathe that in, hold it, let it travel. I deserve to be loved because our divine creator loves me. Breathe that in and breathe that out slowly. Slow your breaths. Tell yourself, I understand that not everybody is capable of loving the way I would like to be loved. Breathe that in and breathe that out. Breathe that in and breathe that out. Breathe that in and breathe that out. Say, I understand that I may not love the same style that everybody else would like me to love them, but I'm still good. I'm still part of our divine creator. Breathe that in and breathe that out. Breathe that in and breathe that out. Say, I release all shame for being who I am. Breathe that in and breathe that out. Breathe that in and breathe that out. Say, I release all judgments from others to give me self-worth. Breathe that in and breathe that out. Breathe that in and breathe that out. Say, I release all need of other people's love to base my self-worth in my existence, my deserving. Breathe that in, breathe that out. Breathe that in and breathe that out. Say, I know I'm unique and I'm deserving and I'm special. For my thumbprint, my iris, my unique Iris and thumbprint tells me so. That was God's gift to us to remind us how wonderful we each are individually as part of His collective consciousness and being part of Him. Breathe that in and breathe that out. Breathe that in and breathe that out. Say, I am love. I am truly love because I love to love. I have a lot of love to give. Breathe that in and breathe that out. Breathe that in and breathe that out. Say, I am proud to be a woman or a man, a girl or a boy, a child, an adult, or everything all at once. Breathe that in, breathe that out. Breathe that in, breathe that out. This time, call in your light team, everyone. Call in Mother Gaia. Call in Father Time and Space, who rules all time and dimensions and planes. Please remember to call in our Divine Creator, Source, the Universe, Divine Intelligence, God, Allah, and the rest of your team. Call in Archangel Michael to always protect us during our time of meditation. And this time, Archangel Metatron is the one, the messenger of the sacral chakra. Call in your angels. I'll call in Archangel also Raphael to heal. Okay. All your personal angels, if you know who they are. Let's bring our light teams together as one big, huge team in a stadium. Call in your ancestral spirit guides. And if you don't know who they are, that's fine. You can contact me after. We'll do a reading on you. Call in your animal spirit guides at this time. And all other light beings. I could just feel this vibration just really high right now. Very glorious. This is beautiful, everyone. Just take in a nice deep breath. We're continuing all the time with the Merkaba breathing. Breathe it in through your nose, filling the abdominal region. Let that air just travel all the way past your crown chakra, back in, down your spine, back all the way down to your root chakra, and up and out through your mouth. And at this time, if you can really breathe in deeply and imagine a nice goldenish orange light, like the light of sunset, that orange sunset light, okay? The combination just beaming down, but the light beams are just beaming it all down, hitting your sacral chakra. Imagine that your hips are widening, and if you want, if you're very flexible while you're lying there, go ahead, bend your feet into a butterfly or tailor pose while you're lying there, while you're sitting, to help open up that area, that chakra. Just imagine that light just beaming down and filling you in. And remember that that area is always represented by pyramids, either upside down or upside up. So imagine that that whole area is just getting filled up waterfall just flushing in there. As you breathe out, let all the toxins release from that area. Just imagine going in there. And if you're a male, you have the upside down pyramid. If you're a female, you have the upside run. Just imagine it filling up more, and more. As it fills up, imagine a circle within that pyramid. And it has 12 different slices, like a pie or a pizza. And let it start turning as the orange light, that golden orange sunset light is flushing in through you. That circle within that pyramid is turning. Breathe in, and it's going clockwise inside of you. Imagine that. Remember, using your third eye here. Okay, those of you know the silver method, theta. Sure, you're up, looking upward. And you imagine it going clockwise. And as this pie is going clockwise, this orange flushing light is going inside. As you're breathing, imagine it. And as it's moving clockwise, after every so many spins, universals there, you see that it's less and less slices. And that it's mending. And you see it turning, and you see it. And it's mending together. You're opening and cleansing out your chakra, sacral chakra, balancing it. Make sure you breathe out those heavy toxins and all those negativities. Remember that you are a beautiful being. Keep seeing that flushing light go as it's spinning there through the pyramid, inside the pyramid, I should say. It mending. Remember, you are love. And the more experiences we witness and get to have this lifetime, the more we are understanding and loving and forgiving of others and forgiving of ourselves, and no longer needing to rely on others, understanding that they can only love up to what they can from their experiences and perspectives and truths. Breathe it in, and you feel, do you see it all mending together? I know I got half a pie mended there. And keep going and keep going. Yes, just feel it and think of how much you love. This time, if you can remember any past partners, intimate partners, let's cut those cords. Just imagine right on top of that pie, there's a cord sticking out, connected, and you just have Archangel, Michael, just cut it with his sword. You might feel, because it's Mercury retrograde, that those partners from the past might come back, and just let it go. It doesn't mean it was meant to be. All it means is they felt that release, and they're wondering, and it's okay to just say, we're good, and bye. And you might have some tears in your eyes, and just now looking at that cord, let that orange light just burn it up. Burn it up, 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 as the same light is still going inside that circle within that pyramid, and it's rotating every revolution, and it's healing in that cord. And now imagine from the sun, this big, huge vacuum hose, just sucking up all the ashes of those cords that you cut off. Release them. You might feel tingling. Keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing. Oh, you should almost feel and mending completely. And make sure there's that orange light going into where you cut the cord, because every space needs to be filled, and if loving, healing light is the best. And if you need to continue, you can pause this and continue doing the meditation. I'm going to continue on now with the blessings. And while you're there at this time, we're going to ask and offer our divine creator to bless us and give us creativity, okay? Passion, joy, love, approval of our sacred sexuality, a knowledge of knowing what is joy, what is love, what is bliss, what is knowing our sacred sexuality, being able to share that. Kind of like those Vestal of Virgins from Greece, not Romans. The Greece is much different than the Romans. And at this time, we can just breathe in. You say, Divine Creator of all that is and all my lighting, I ask that my true love's face I've yet to see. I know not what his or her name will be, but soon his or her heart will beat for me. Come hither, my love, so may it be. Take a nice deep Merkaba breath into that and release and release. And again, slowly wiggle your toes and open your eyes. How are you feeling? Let's continue with some more prayers for those who are feeling out of sorts and love. And so you put the herbs, twinkle it on your flame, okay? Please make it sure that it's at a safe area. You know, we don't want you guys. And please repeat, like a healing stream, may love keep flowing. With love comes wisdom and a knowing that each day and every hour I draw the energy of feminine and masculine power. And do the Merkaba breathing. This moon above gives me light to see the love during day or night. I hold it close, I know it dear. Love protects, and I have no fear. And at this time, make sure that you're all closed there and close that up and give your thanks. So say amen or mote it be as it should be, as it is demanded, as blessing. Thanks be to God. Your ending that you prefer. And I thank you for being here, for letting me into your hearts, to your life, and to sharing this with you. And it's been a joy, and it does mean a lot because, well, I like to be here for you. So, I appreciate all, yes, I gotta do the legalities now, all your cooperations, donations. It's what makes these videos possible. All your positive and constructive criticisms always help when you share these videos with others through other channels. It's a compliment for me, and that you you know, You put a thumbs up and share it, like, either on Facebook, Google, wherever you find this, on YouTube. Okay? It is such a blessing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste. Jus, Jacita.